Okay, hello friends. So today we have Neha with us, and little bit different thing about Neha is she's just having 5.5 years of total IT experience, friends, and she recently cleared, I think four different. You have four
Yes.
offers, I guess, right? And she's going to join IBM soon, but then she going to help us with three different offers which she already have: TCS, Infosys, and I think HCL, right? So these three questions, this session is about questions which is asked in this particular three interviews. So all these common questions we have collected, and Neha will going to help us with all those questions. So before we start, Neha, why don't you tell us about yourself and how you just become Scrum Master with just 5 years of experience, Neha?
Yeah, sure. First of all, I would like to thank Sunan a lot because it like career talks helps me a lot basically. So I'm Neha Goplani. I have done my BE in 2015, and after that, I joined one organization. It's a big organization, basically. You can say it's TCS. And after that, I have total 5.8 years of experience in IT industry, and I started my career as a developer with one of the internal project itself. So I was basically a Java developer. And after this 2 years of journey as a Java developer, I have moved to a Scrum Master role. So, like, what helps me to move from a developer to a Java developer to a Scrum Master role? So, basically, I was working with one of the project which was in a waterfall model, and it was running from a long back time. And at the end, the client said that they don't want that project basically, and that project got scrapped. So after that, I got opportunity to learn as agile and a scrum in a different project, and from there itself I moved to one of the client project where I got appointed as a scrum master. So like from last 3.5 years I am working as a scrum master with one of the client project itself. Yeah.
Great, Neha, great. Friends, I just tell you one more thing before we start this conversation. I saw Neha growth. She joined us, I think, last 5 months back, I guess.
Yes.
And that time she is very shy, but now you can see the confidence on her face. She is coming and sharing whatever the questions which was asked in the interviews. So you can see that confidence. So good, Neha. I really like your journey, and all the best for your future assignments. So shall we begin, Neha?
Yeah, thank you so much, Sunan. It's all due to this career talk.
No, no, it's all your hard work, nothing else. You are very
Yeah,
persistent. This is what I can say.
yes, but
Okay.
for hard work, at least we have to see some path, and this is the right path that I have chosen.
Okay. Thanks. Okay. Okay. I think we'll begin here then with the
Yeah,
Q&A. Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
So
sure.
why don't you tell us about the agile values first? Let's talk about agile values.
Yeah. So basically, in Agile, we have four different values, and all the values have their own importance. So the Agile values are: first is individual and interaction over processes and tools. So, like the meaning of this is basically, it's like we have process and tool in our project itself, but it's like always important that the individual and an interaction with the people is more important than the process and tools. Because if we follow only process and tools, it's like we are not bothering about the people in our team. We are just following the things that the process and tools have, and we are not having much interaction within our team as well. And the second second agile value is basically uh, working software over comprehensive documentation. So in every project there is a documentation required, but in agile we focus more on working software. Like it's not like we are concentrating more on documentation purpose itself, and at the end we don't have any working software. So basically in agile we are focusing on working software. And the third one is customer collaboration over customer negotiation. So in agile we focus on customer feedback. Basically all the things that we are doing is for customer satisfaction itself. So at from starting point of the project onwards, we keep customer in our mind, and we have like we can say close contact with the customer, and we take their feedback frequently to meet their goals. So the customer collaboration is more important and agile. And the fourth one is basically changing requirement, responding to a change sorry over following a plan. So here basically we don't have some fixed requirement in agile. Like at any point of time the customer come with a new requirement, and as a team we have to adapt that changing requirement. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Neha, for this quick answer. Okay, and what do you know about product refinement and how often it's done in your project?
Okay, yeah. So first of all, like a product refinement is not a mandatory or ceremony in a Scrum. So we do product refinement for our benefit, as there are many advantages of the product refinement, but it's not like we have this ceremony as a mandatory in a Scrum framework. So basically the product refinement is a task where the whole Scrum team sits together, and the product owner explains about the product backlog item, and the product owner does the describe the product backlog item, ordered it, and provide a size to a product backlog item. So basically the developers are required to provide the estimation or sizing of the product backlog item. So this product backlog refinement is an ongoing process. It's not like it's not like we are doing once in a sprint or twice in a sprint. It's an ongoing process. And in our organization basically we are doing product refinement once in a week. So like this is very important that we do a refinement of our product backlog items, because it's like whenever we are cooking anything, so sometimes what we do, we do preparation before itself, and sometimes what we do is instantly we do all the cutting and chopping, and we prepare the food. So it's like but this product refinement is basically, it's like that we are cutting the foods before only. So it's important that we have our product backlog item refined for the next sprint before the sprint starts.
Okay, okay, thanks. And would you like to explain about different Scrum events or ceremonies?
Yeah, sure. So basically, Scrum is a lightweighted framework. So here in Scrum, we have 4 Scrum ceremonies that are mandatory in a Scrum framework. So the 4 Scrum ceremonies all are time-boxed events. And the purpose of this Scrum ceremony is to inspect and adapt. So all the 4 Scrum ceremonies are time boxed, and the purpose is basically to inspect the things and adapt the changes that we want. So the 4 Scrum ceremonies are sprint planning, daily Scrum, sprint review, and sprint retrospective. And all the 4 Scrum ceremonies play an important role, and they have their own importance. So can I go through all the Scrum ceremonies?
Yeah,
Sure.
please.
Yeah. So basically, whenever we are starting our project, so first of all, what we do is we have some milestone kind of thing before starting any project. So after in that milestone plan, we have defined plans, whenever at what time we have to deliver the features. So whenever we are starting our first sprint, before that we have some product because before starting first sprint we cannot do a product grooming. So in sprint planning meeting itself, we do a product grooming of the sprint backlog items that we have to take into this particular sprint. So the input for sprint planning meeting is past performance of the team, upcoming capacity of the team, and definition of them. So basically the purpose of sprint planning meeting is to think to take this some product backlog item from the product backlog to sprint backlog, which product backlog item we will be delivering in this particular sprint. So the purpose of this sprint planning meeting is what we will deliver, why we will deliver, and how we will do it that. So basically the output of this sprint planning meeting is sprint goal, and like the whole Scrum team is accountable for that sprint goal. So the developers are the one who are going to develop the things. So what we do in sprint planning meeting is basically whole Scrum team sits together, and the product owner takes one product backlog item from the product backlog, and he explains about the whole about the product backlog item, or a user story, you can say. So that about that user story, and if developers have any query on that user story, so developer clarify their doubts in that session itself. And after that we have one round of estimation, so that the we can provide the estimation to that user story. And in that meeting itself, the product owner gives the like priority to that user story, what is the priority of that user story. And also he has some like if he wants to change the priority or order of that user story, so he does that same in a product sprint planning meeting itself. So apart like after this we have daily scrum. So what is daily scrum? Basically daily scrum happens in a daily basis. Basically it's a 15-minute time boxed event. So what happened in daily scrum is all developers are responsible for attending a daily scrum. Basically it's a mandatory for them. It's not like the sprint like product owner or scrum master is present, should be present there. It's important for developers. And the purpose of daily scrum is like what they did yesterday, what they are planning to do today, and is there any impediment faced by them which is blocking them to achieve their goals. So the daily scrum is basically an important thing for the transparency purpose also, you can say. Because if all the developers are present in the daily scrum, so everyone should be aware of everyone's task, and if they required any help from other team members. So after this meeting we have sprint review. So basically what is a sprint review? Sprint review is a meeting or an event where the all stakeholders are also present. So this event is basically an important event, you can say, because here we get a feedback from our client. We provide the demo to the client of the working model that we have built in our last sprint. And also like the scope of future upcoming sprint is decided in the sprint review meeting. So this is a very important event, because we provide a demo to the client, and they provide the feedback if they want any changes in the working model, and so that we can accommodate the feedback provided by the client. And this is also a time boxed event. So here we like inspect the things that is done in our last sprint, and we adapt the feedback received by the client. And after this we have a fourth event, that is the last event, sprint retrospective event. So the purpose of sprint retrospective is for continuous improvement. Basically this is a event for internal team, you can see. Because here what we do is we discuss about the things that we have done in a last sprint. Like we inspect ourselves itself here. Like we inspect individual interactions or the tools. Is there any requirement, is there any change required in the tool or a process, anything. So basically this is a kind of continuous improvement. So we are inspecting our team and ourselves, and we are like trying to adapt the things for ourselves itself. Yeah.
Hey, thanks a lot, Neha, for this
And here
complete walkthrough.
basically if you say like which event I like most, is basically a sprint retrospective event, because there is always scope of improvement.
Okay, yeah, I mean, this is again a most asked question, like, okay, which one event is your favorite, or which one event you want to drop? That's
Yeah, we
okay.
cannot drop any event basically, because all the four events have their own importance.
Okay,
Hmm.
I'll trust you. Okay, let's move on. So, what you will do to bring the transparency in your team? So I'm just give you one scenario. So let's say one of your team member is taking more time in one particular given task for whatever reason. Let's not get into that. And other team member is telling that something is fishy, and this guy is not giving us a proper updates, and due to this guy my work is suffering, right? So in that kind of scenario, what you will do to make sure that the transparency is there within your team, and everyone will know that what other people are doing, and whenever they require their input, so that input is available for the other team members, right? So
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, first of all, for transparency, this is a like you can say it's one pillar of Scrum as well. Empirism, we have three pillars, so this is the one of that, transparency. So basically, to see transparency within a team, it's always better that everyone should be on the same page. Like the other team member is saying that the some other team member is giving fishy efforts or something like that. So it's very important that everyone should be present in a Scrum events, because we are having daily Scrum meeting. So if every developer is present there, so we will the everyone should be on the same page, and they will be aware of the things what other people are saying, and they can we can discuss there itself. So it's better that everyone should be there in all the Scrum ceremonies, and we can discuss with each and everyone there itself to build a transparency within a team. And it's better to build a transparency. We can discuss each and everything with everyone. It's not like we discuss with some single person privately, or one to or one on one discussion. This should kind of things should not happen for work itself.
Yeah. So, but what will be your action on that? So, what are the different things which you can do to bring this transparency?
Yeah, to bring this transparency, basically, like I will have a meetings with my whole team to have like good healthy environment in a team, so that
Let's say
every
it's not working now. Let's say it's not working. So you have
okay.
done your meeting with all those team members, and still a couple of team members coming to you. See why I'm asking you, why I'm
Yes.
putting you on the spot, Neha, because you are pretty young, in terms of handling the team. So let's say 10, let's say 7 or 8 or 10 team members are there, right?
Yeah.
And they are more senior than you, right, in terms of their experience. So
Yes.
how you are going to handle this? Let's say one team member is coming and telling you, Neha, that this guy is doing this and that. So how you are going to tackle that condition? So yeah, team
Okay.
meeting is one thing.
Yeah, so first of all, I will not blindly believe on anyone, because it's like if the one single person who is senior to me who is saying like this, so I will take feedback from some other people as well. Like we have some architect or senior team members in our team. So what I will do, I will arrange a common call with each and everyone, like architect and the senior team member who are more technically sound, you can say. And I will discuss transparently all the issues that I have heard or the people are telling me, so that the everyone should give their suggestion, and we can find out some solution for them. Because as a Scrum Master, I have to listen each and everyone, that is okay, but I cannot like judge anyone in the team.
Okay. But just now I ask you one PSM2 question, knowingly or unknowingly. So that's the thing. Okay, let's move on. This question is again asked so many times that your PO is not available for your sprint planning meeting, and he's not reachable. He's on holiday or maybe some emergency, some medical emergency. Let's take an example. So in this scenario, what you are going to do as a Scrum Master? You will continue the sprint planning meeting without the PO, or you will cancel it, or what will be your take on that, Neha?
Yeah. Okay. So this kind of situation happened in real life as well with me. So basically, once what happened, my PO was not available. But as we have product refinement activity, which is an ongoing activity, so we are ready with some of the product backlog items for the next upcoming sprint. So if our PO is not available and we have to start the sprint, so what we did is first of all we tried to connect with him, but he was not available. So unfortunately, what we did, we have each and every team, everyone in the team sits together with me, and we have gone through a product backlog items, the activities or the product backlog items that were ready with us to take into the next sprint. So we have taken it, because we cannot like sit idle without working, as we have to start the sprint. So anyways, the product owner is not available and we have to start the sprint, so we have taken the already refined product backlog items, and we have taken the sprint planning meeting without him. And once he came back, we discussed with him, like we have taken this activities so that we can start our sprint. And if suppose he wants to change anything, or he wants to negotiate the sprint backlog, so we did that. Because in ideal situation we cannot sit ideal now.
Correct. Okay. Okay. And what do you know about burn up and burn down chart, Neha?
Yeah. So in Agile, we have many matrices. Basically, this burn down, burn up, and burn down are also a part of matrices itself. So we have different kind of matrices, like quality matrices, team performance check matrices, defect management kind of matrices. So we have two these important matrices in Agile. It's like burn up chart and burn down chart. So basically, what is the importance of burn down and burn up chart? I can say we can check the team performance from this chart, this burn down and burn up chart. So basically, what is burn down chart? So burn down chart shows how much work is remaining. How much work is remaining. So basically, we have different kind of burn down chart: sprint burn down chart, release burn down chart. So sprint burn down chart is like handled at sprint level, and like we can have an update based on sprints, like what how much activity is remaining in our this particular sprint. And release burn down chart is at release level, basically. So here at our organization, we have 2 week sprint. So for sprint backlog, sprint burn down chart, we have sprint 2 week sprint, and based on that we create a sprint backlog, sprint burn down chart. So based on sprint burn down chart, if our Jira dashboard is updated properly, so we can get a clear understanding, like how much work is remaining. Okay. And apart from that, we have burn up chart. So basically, burn up chart shows how much work is completed. And the main difference between burn down and burn up chart is burn up chart also shows the total scope of the sprint, like total story point, that we have an straight line in our chart that shows it. So this shows how much work is completed in the last sprint. So what we can do, we can show this burn up chart at management level to to show that how much work is completed to achieve a product goal.
Okay. Okay. So thanks, Neha. And this one is literally interesting. So let's assume that a new team and a project is assigned to you. So according to you, how you will determine that which particular method you are going to implement over here? So whether it's a waterfall, it's a Kanban, or it's a Scrum.
Yeah.
So how you will identify that which approach is best for this particular kind of project?
Sure. Okay. So in Agile, we have different frameworks or different methodology you can see. So the different methodologies are Scrum, Kanban, and apart from Agile, we also have a waterfall model that was running previously, basically, if you can say. So if I am as a Scrum Master, I am assigned to a new team. So first of all, I will check what kind of project that is, to like think which kind of agile methodology I have to implement. So first of all, that I have to understand about the project, what kind of project or product it is. So basically, if it is a kind of support and maintenance kind of project, so we can take Kanban, because Kanban is basically used for support or maintenance kind of project, because we don't have particular sprints in that Kanban. It's like we have to deliver continuously we have to deliver. So in support kind of project, we can have it. Or otherwise, if we have a small project and the requirement is fixed, it's like we are very pretty sure that the requirement will not get changed, and this is the requirement that we have to deliver in the small amount of time, or the time assigned by the management. So in such kind of requirement, we can take waterfall model as well, because for small project and the fixed requirement, waterfall model is also good. But the project, suppose the project is very large or very big, you can say, and we are expecting many changes in between from the client, because if the project is very large, so it will take many years as well to complete it. And it happens that in market, the some kind of requirement will get changed, or client wants some additional requirement. So for such kind of project, I will refer Scrum, because anyway Scrum is always better to implement, because we are delivering some parts of a product to the client so that they can use it. So it's like chunks of packets of the product backlog, product goal we are delivering to the client so that they can use. They don't have to wait till the end so that we can deliver a whole product, and after that only they will be using. So as a point of revenue, if you can say, Scrum is always better for the clients.
Okay, thanks, Neha, for that. Okay, so let's talk about conflict a little bit. So
Sure.
first of all, I'm sure you might have seen a lot of conflicts within your team, within your organization. So how you are going to resolve conflicts, and if you can give some example, that will be great.
Yeah, sure. So first of all, basically, what is conflict, if we can say? So whenever we are working, like everyone is a human being, and when there is a there's a kind of misunderstanding, or like every human being have a different kind of mindset, and there is a lot of chances of misunderstanding. So when there is a misunderstanding, then conflict occurs. So basically, there are different type of conflicts. You can say people conflict, time management conflict, and many more. So basically, I have like faced a lot of conflict in my real scenario as well. So I will give example. The like one conflict management was basically, it's kind of a time management, you can say. Once what happened during our sprint planning meeting, we are playing a planning poker game for the estimation, and what happened, two developers were not agreeing on estimation point of view. Like they both were giving different estimations, and after playing 2 to 3 rounds as well, they were not agreeing to others point of view, and they both were conflicting. So what I did in this situation is basically I involve PO, because PO is the right person. He has much knowledge about the business requirement. So for both the developers, I involve PO. Like, what is your point of thinking? What they are thinking is correct, or what we have to do? I involved, and I got suggestion from product owner, and after involving him, we got to a conclusion for the estimation purposes. And apart from that, I can say I have a conflict with product owner as well once. So basically what happened, owner was very interested, you can say. He comes in every sprint with a new product backlog item, and he add it in every sprint. Like he was like always ready to add new product backlog item in between of the sprint, which is not a good practice. Basically, we cannot allow a product owner to come in between and ask us to add a user story or product backlog item in between sprint. So what I did, I discussed with product owner. Basically, I personally call a meeting and discuss, like, yeah, sometime it is okay, we understand, like there is some emergency and we have to take a user story or product backlog item in between, based on in between sprint, based on the requirement or the severity or priority. But it's not like that in every sprint we will take the requirement in between. So he was like, Scrum is all about responding to a requirement change. So I said, yeah, that's correct, but it's not like in every sprint you have some important requirement. So what I suggested him, like, it's better that you come with a requirement which is like must to have. It's not like you are coming with a requirement which is nice to have as well. So we discussed with product owner, and also we have an agreement kind of thing. Like if we are having a 10 days of sprint, and if the product owner is coming after fourth day, so we will not take his requirement. So we have done some agreement kind of thing with product owner.
Okay, thanks a lot, Neha. Okay, let's move on to the other one. Okay, this is respect to the performance of your team. So
Okay.
let's assume that your team is not performing well, and you have joined that team recently as a Scrum Master, and you came to know that this team is consistently not able to achieve their sprint goal from last so many sprints, right? So what are the few steps which you are going to do initially to increase the performance of the team?
Okay, so first of all, when I'm assigned to one of the project, so directly after going to that project, I will not provide some changes in that. I will first of all observe what they are doing and what are their mindsets. So after observing and understanding their mindset, I will try to understand like why they are not able to meet this sprint goal continuously. Is there any third party dependency or some technical issues within the team? So after discussing with the team members and the developers, I will come to a conclusion or or I will after discussing, I will just check like if there is some technical glitches, you can say. So we will organize some session for the developers to get trained technically. But if there is some third party dependency, so we can ask for help from third party as well. Like we can point out this kind of issues. It's kind of impediment if it's a third party issue and we are not able to achieve this sprint goal. So we will discuss like this is the issue, and we have to inform such issues to product owner transparently, so that he is also aware like why we are not able to achieve this sprint goal. So I will also check the velocity of the team of the last sprints, what they did and what is the velocity of the team, because velocity is one of the metrics to check the performance of the team as well.
Okay, Neha, thanks a lot. We have one or two small questions. If you want to answer that, let's cover those as well.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So who create backlog in your team?
Okay, so basically, the backlogs are created by the product owner only, because product owner is the one who is market expert and he is more aware about the business requirement. So in Scrum, we have only single source of requirement, which is product backlog, and it is created by product owner only, and product owner is accountable for product backlog.
Okay. And when is release planning done?
Okay, so coming to release planning is done before the sprint planning meeting itself, because we have some roadmap or milestone plan which is covered in a release planning, and all like management level discussion happen for the release planning, and higher management give the higher level estimation as well in that release planning meeting, and which features we have to deliver when. All the things are discussed in release planning only. So it happens before sprint planning meeting.
Okay. Okay, Neha, I think we are done with today's session. And before we close, I just want to
Any points and then you want to add on?
Yeah, I just want to tell you a couple of things before we close. So first of all, um, thank you for taking your time and share your experience with all of us. Other thing is I really like your confidence. Few questions, answers might be better, but then I can give you uh, with whatever the experience you have, right? With that experience, whatever you have learned so far. So I would say keep doing the same thing, whatever you are doing. Spend some time in reading some good books. That's very important for you because you're just starting your career as a Scrum Master.
Yeah.
So it's good, like if you're going to pick good handful of books, finish one book at a time. That's very important for any Scrum Master if you really want to learn in-depth knowledge. So that's a thing. That's all I want to say for a time
Yeah,
being,
can you
Neha.
please
And
provide some books name?
it's already there. You can just watch any of our previous videos. In the description,
Sure.
you will find a lot of books.
Okay,
So
okay.
with that, Neha, thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you so much, Sunan. Nice to talk to you. And thank you so much for all your efforts for us.
Definitely. Thank you, Neha.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.